that I feel much relief because I've let go of some of my painful past. Writing has truly been therapeutic. Starting today, I will be sharing small excerpts from my book, my upcoming memoir. Please stay tuned to listen today to a short explanation from my introduction and then a small reading from chapter 1. And in the future, when you start to write your own book, your own life story, please let me know. Share your journey with me. I would love to hear about your thoughts and ideas and your emotions that are pouring out, because that's what happens. All that stuck trauma down in the tissues, it starts to bubble up. And you don't even know it until you actually put your words out there or speak your truth. Have fun writing. And I hope that today you sit back and enjoy a small reading. My book is just a part of my life. I take the reader back in time. The chapters begin with the year 2014 and drift back to conclude with the year 2007. Embedded within these backward flowing chapters are flashback stories, which begin with the year 1973 and progress to 2005. Here's a short reading from Chapter 1, Search, 2014. Son, you're brilliant. Much gratitude to you, for you've given me the ending to my story's timeline. I'll end my story exactly at this point in my life, sitting here with you at Brew for You. Any new events that happen to me after today will not go into the book. I will continue to smooth out my paragraphs and begin the search for an editor. After your college finals, let's celebrate our achievements with a yoga hike at South Mountain. He immediately rattled off a series of questions which interrupted my precious savor time. Mom, what are your goals with this book? How many copies do you want to sell? Do you want your story to be on the New York Times bestsellers list? How do you plan to advertise your book? Have you set a timeline to finish your book? Doesn't he remember that I no longer have goals in my life? Master Tony, instead of setting goals, I've chosen to enjoy the journey of hunting for the present moment. It's a practice, not only with my book, but with each one of my daily activities. My next sip of Java was even longer as I connected to my slow, calm breath. I felt the crease between my eyebrows grow tense as I tried to absorb his questioning. Slow your breath. I shifted in my seat so I could sit upright. Son, I haven't thought that far ahead. First, I need to actually complete the process of creating an actual book, one that you and I can hold in our hands. But right now, I want to enjoy this coffee. Tony Joe, don't you want to order a cup? He glanced up at the menu board and jetted on over to the counter. While the barista brewed his specialty cup, Tony Joel returned to the bench. Without hesitation, he then asked, Mom, how much of your story have you written out? Can I read it? What medium did you write it on? This next volley of questions had caught me mid-sip. Yes, you can read what I've written down so far. It's in a rough draft on my computer. The timeline on the story is all there because I've lived my story. I thought about finding an editor who was in college wanting to work on books. Tony Joe placed his phone back in front of his face. Son, this book project began for me one special night. It was during my yoga teacher training class of 2011. We were put into small groups to discuss certain topics. Our group's discussion topic asked us to name a project that excited us, one which we wanted to start but hadn't yet. I described how for years I've talked about writing out my life story, but I hadn't actually put any thoughts on paper. That night, within our small circle, I committed to both myself and my fellow yoga teachers in training to begin writing down my life story. So there you have it. And if you haven't started yet, it's time to start writing down your life story. Choose a highlight or a low point from your life and just start writing. And then share it. Share it with friends or share it with me. Because what it does is it gets it out of your tissues. That's what that book right there did to me. It helped clear all that baggage I was carrying around. And now I feel much better, much more balanced. I'm still a human. I have my moments where life can be stressful. And then I tune into my yoga practice. It's been fun sharing this bit of my life with you, that little taste, that bite of my memoir. Join me again this Friday as I share with you my first flashback. The title of the flashback is called Dust Storm, and that takes place in 1973 when I was just 4 years old. See you on Friday. Namaste.